Boom, back at it again with another video, guys. So, you already know how this goes. Let's just get straight into the video. So, first and foremost, I gotta introduce my baby boy, Max a Million. You feel me? Because he a millionaire on the low. And he be doing secret agent shit. You feel me?
Okay.
Anywho, I'm gonna be telling story time. And yeah, so basically, my friend got accused of having a freak Twitter.
Excuse the fuck out of me! How dare you!
What happened was this all started from a DM, and basically, I don't know how this escalated like this, but it started escalating. So my friend ended up hitting up this other person, was like, oh, they had posted something on their story about how people would be getting around in the same circles and yada yada yada, whatever. And my friend was like, oh, well, you know what? You can't say that about me, X, Y, and Z. I'm just glad people can't say that about me type shit. So he was like, so then the person replied and was like saying, you know what, let's start giving these people names because it's going to get confusing without some names. So we going to call my friend Marshall. We're going to call the boy that they was DMing about the post Ralph, period. So anyway, so Marshall was going around saying, hey, I'm just glad people can't say that about me or whatever, getting around the same circles, da-da-da. So then Ralph was like, yo, same, like, I don't be getting around whatever. But, your ass is on display. So Marshall, my friend's like, what? What you talking about? Like, what you mean my ass is on display? Like, what's that supposed to mean? Ralph goes, oh yeah, well, your freak Twitter, like, I came across it, whatever, etc., etc. My friend Marshall, like, free Twitter? I don't have a free Twitter. What's a free Twitter? Like, what? Like, what's going on? So now Ralph's like, oh, well, basically, I'm in a group chat with some of my friends, and one of the people that you was basically going around saying that this nude that you sent to them, allegedly, is the same nude that's on this other page on Twitter. Now, I don't know how many Twitters Ralph was looking through or how much he'd be on free Twitter or whatever it is. The fact that matching pictures and yada yada, that right there to me is just a little weird.
That's just suspicious. That's suspicious like shit.
But that's just, from my take of the story when I was hearing it. So then my friend's like, whoa, first of all, that's not me. I don't have a free Twitter or whatever. And, my friend Marshall goes on like, well, I don't know what's this about or how this came about, but I don't like when people lying on my name because, at this point, I told my friend Marshall, that's defamation, slander. They define your character, my friend. You can't have these people lying on your name and shit. That shit could start messing with you. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, like, that's not cool. Like, you better find out who it is. So they messaging back and forth. And Marshall's like, all right, well, who told you that? Because it's a fucking lie. Like, those are rumors, etc., etc. So Ralph is like, oh, well, if it is, I'm sorry I assumed or whatever, but, this isn't the first time somebody came to me and said something like this.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
Mind you, like I said, I don't even know how this should start from, hey, I don't get around same circles, to now, oh, your ass on display. I mean, right then and there, for me, it would have been an ass whooping off bat because who the fuck you talking to? Who does that? Like, if I'm hitting you about something different, you talking about my ass on display or something, what the fuck is going on? That's me personally. I would have been whooping ass. Anywho, now I ended up speaking to Ralph because I know Ralph. So I went and spoke to Ralph and I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, X, Y, and Z, da-da-da. So now Ralph is like, oh, telling me the story, giving me the feedback. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Now we start adding extra into it because now Ralph can go in and was like, yeah, because Marshall's lying about having a free Twitter. Da, da, da.
Can I fucking lie?
because Marshall, my friend Marshall, basically, this is what Ralph is saying, allegedly, is that Marshall hit up Chase. This is another person. That's not their real name. I'm just using fake. At this point, first of all, I'm using Paw Patrol names. I don't think Ralph is a part of Paw Patrol. Either way, so now Ralph was like, Marshall hit up Chase and was like, oh well, that Chase basically went back and told Ralph like, oh yeah, so Marshall came to me and asked me why did I open my big mouth about him having a freak Twitter, because now Chase was basically going back and was like, oh well, listen, because now Marshall was coming to me trying to say why I open my big mouth, etc., and now thinking that it's Sky, another person. We just giving fake names out here. Thinking it's Sky telling they business, when it's not, whatever. So now Sky then goes and hit Ralph and was like, yo, why are people coming for me saying that I said this and the third when I didn't say anything, or whatever. So now I'm like, at this point, I'm just listening, because, I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? This is a lot of shit. So now, after that, this is where it gets a little spicy, because Chase and Marshall are supposed to be quote-unquote friends. So it's just like, if that is true that, Marshall went to Chase and said that, and Chase is going back to Ralph and Scott saying, oh, well, he just mad because he really do got one and he don't want to own up to it, and all this. I mean, that's some snitch. That's some snitch. But you know what? You can't never trust out here, so I'm not surprised. This is who I tell my secrets to. You think he tells? Do you? Do you? Nah, he quiet. So, anywho, moving on, so now we like, okay, so now I'm, talking to Ralph at this point, and he's telling me this, and I'm like, okay, well, Ralph, I mean, at this point, you got screenshots of, like, the conversation between Chase and Marshall, saying how Marshall is saying that, yeah, they do got one, and they think that Sky and Chase is telling their business. Like, do you got screenshots of it? Oh, no, I don't. I just got word of mouth. I was like, well, nowadays word of mouth ain't because people be lying all the time and be doing X, Y, and Z. Plot twist is that Ralph then goes and was like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't think that Chase will lie because they got a freak Twitter too. What's going on with these freak Twitters? Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, personally, it's not my thing. If that's how you're making your coin, make your coin. I ain't judging. Make your coin. But it ain't for me. But nowadays, I just feel like, if that's how you're making your coin, that's how you're making your coin. Fuck it. Who the fuck cares? Make your coin. But, I mean, obviously people care enough to mention stuff about it and stuff like that. So I guess, you gotta worry about that. But none of my business. So, moving forward, now that we know that Chase supposedly has this free Twitter too.
My bad. That was my speaker too. But anywho, back to the story.
Or whatever. It's just, I mean, how many free Twitters people got? Who else got one? How many? So anyway, Ralph is going on. He's like, yeah, well, basically. So I'm like, well, Ralph, like, who the fuck told you that, my friend had the Twitter or whatever? Because I'm saying, like, Marshall was saying that he don't got a free Twitter. And my friend say he don't got a free Twitter, he don't got a free Twitter. You feel me? Like, I don't think he gonna lie about having a free Twitter. My friend ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Come on. Anyway, so I'm like Ralph, who told you that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my friend is like feeling some type of way because that's defamation and they spreading lies and rumors and stuff. And my friend is saying that they don't got the free Twitter, they don't got one. So Ralph's like, oh, it's one of the people that Marshall. And I'm like, oh, okay, well then who is it? Like, just say the name, oh no, I'm not gonna say the name. Like if Marshall don't know who he be fucking and da 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 da, then you know that's his problem. Like you fuck that many people that you don't know, you know who it is, da 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 da. I said, whoa, 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 hold up, Ralph. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Slow your roll. Let's not, you know, talk about people that's not here and stuff. That's a little messy, you know what I'm saying? And plus, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never like that because, I mean, people are going to talk about you regardless. And that don't always mean that you're going to know exactly who's talking about you. Mind you, come to find out that basically Ralph and Chase ended up messing with the same person because in one night, basically, there was a video, I guess, or whatever, or some picture, whatever it was, of Chase taking a picture in somebody's house or whatever, yada, 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 whatever they doing, who knows. And after that, either the same night or the next, whatever, later that night, whatever, late night, Ralph is seen in the same exact house, but sources are saying that they're messing around with the same person. Same girl. Ironic because, you know, Ralph was going around saying, you know, people be messing around in the same circles, da da da. So I guess they messing around in the same circles too. So, moral of the story is, people always going to tell lies about you. People are going to start rumors. People are going to spread lies. People are going to talk about you. People are going to do all these things. And sometimes you just got to move past it. You know, be the bigger person. Grow up, move on, and let that be that. You know? I mean, it's a lot of he say, she say. Can't really go too much off about that. Like, and I mean, it's just like, get a life. There's bigger things to talk about. There's bigger things to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure y'all getting y'all bag. Make sure y'all, you know, living good. Stuff like that. Like, you know, there's more things to worry about. So, maybe instead of being consumed in somebody else's business, make sure that you're good. And make sure that you're making your money and that you're happy. Right? I'm gonna leave it there. So, you already know how these videos end. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a big thumbs up. You know, press that notification button so anytime I post, I know what's going on. And tell y'all family. Tell y'all friends. Tell your dog. Somebody gotta watch me, right? What?